YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got an interesting pickup today because I don't actually know everything that's in here. Basically what happened was this guy texted me through Facebook. I sort of put like a in search of type of thing out a while ago, and I put it in search of, and he commented on that, and he said he had a bunch of PS2 games, and I was like, oh cool. Wanted to check it out or whatever, so he sent me a picture of everything. It was just basically sports and junk, nothing worth anything I was willing to pick up. And like I've been saying, I've been trying to avoid that kind of stuff basically, because I basically spent some time actually clearing a lot of that out of my collection. I sold off a bunch of PS2 stuff, I don't know, probably about 6 months ago, I guess, sometime in the summer basically. I sold off a bunch of PS2 doubles, and at a really good price to this guy, and I just basically unloaded like all the junky sports titles and stuff that I had in there, and doubles and whatnot. And so when I saw that originally, I said, nah, I'm not interested. Thanks very much though, you know, if you find anything else, let me know. And you know, I don't really expect people to get back to me on things like that, but this guy texted me tonight and he's like, hey, I'm moving, and I was just cleaning out my garage and I was finding some stuff in there, and I was like, sounds good to me, what do you have? And he said he had an NES system, 2 PS1s, and a Sega Genesis. And he said there's a variety of different cords and things like that. And he said he's not sure if they were working, so he said, what would you be interested in any of this? And I said, sure, I'd be interested in the Genesis and the NES, you know, kind of thing. And I said, how much do you want for them? He said, throw me an offer. I said, I'll give you $10 each because you don't know if they're working or whatever, and I, you know, have no faith in that they're working. So, you know, taking a gamble basically at $10. He came back with 15. I said, you know, I can't go any higher than 10 just because I don't know if they're working or anything like that. And he said, okay, 10's fine, because I'm moving, kind of thing. And I said, great. And then he messaged me back and said, I'll just throw the PS1s in for free. And I was like, that's great. So got my $20, basically drove over to his place, and I haven't even looked through this bag yet to see what all is in here. But when I did show up, he said, oh, I found this extra controller, and he pulled out a Super Nintendo controller and showed me, and I was like, oh, that's great, I'm interested in that too. So he just threw that in the bag, and this is what I got though, so I'm going to show you. This is the first time I've gone through it, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Now this is kind of interesting. I can see it right off the bat though. It's, you know, the Sega Genesis Model 1, not the high definition graphics one unfortunately, but still pretty interesting. The thing that interests me most is actually sticking out of the front of it is this 4-way splitter. It says EA Sports on it, so this must have been for like a football game, or I don't know, not sure what kind of EA Sports game required 4 people. I don't know if you can use that with hockey or something. I doubt you can. I can never remember there being an option, so you let me know what that went along with. But that's pretty cool right there. It's like a splitter, so you can actually hook up 4 controllers onto a Sega Genesis. So when I saw that, I was like, that's definitely worth the, you know, what I put into it basically right there, along with the system obviously. So that's pretty cool. A fairly beat up looking PS1 that's missing its parallel port cover, so nothing special there. No game inside. Wasn't really expecting there to be, but you know, that's that. Another something rattling around in it. This one has its parallel. Ooh, something really rattling around in there. So I don't even know what's going on with that. I don't have to give that a clean out, but PS1 systems, I'll probably just end up unloading those somewhere. Those don't really sell anyways. A PlayStation connector or whatever, PlayStation, you know, proprietary one. Let's see here, sort of all just sort of jumbled together. A decent condition, it's not too bad, it's got a few dings and scratches and stuff in it, but NES controller. Another NES controller, that's pretty cool. What else you got here? RF adapter for PlayStation. I'll never use that, but that's that. Power for PlayStation. A PS1 controller. not the dual analog, just the standard one. This is actually the Super Nintendo controller is a third-party one. Looks like a legit one or whatever, but it says Super 16-bit Entertainment Joypad on it, so it's feels kind of cheap. It's not too bad, I guess, but still, you know, it was thrown in for free, so it's not bad. One of these AV connectors, power supply for the NES, so that's pretty good right there. The Sega Genesis power supply, that's awesome. No Sega Genesis controllers though. The hookup for the Sega Genesis, and the other PS1 power supply, and then finally an NES system that definitely needs a cleaning. A few minor wear marks on it and things like that. Look inside. It's pretty decent, so it's not bad at all. I think a pretty good haul, just the systems alone. For getting those two systems for 20 bucks, not a bad deal at all. And obviously interesting to me though, something I didn't have was this 4 connector, so I'm going to be holding on to that. That's pretty neat. I'm going to have to check that out. I don't know a thing about that, so that's kind of awesome. Great that an NES power supply, even if that system doesn't work. I have systems that are missing power supplies, so that's wicked right there. The amazing bag that it came in, I don't know. But yeah, you know, everything looks pretty legit there for 20 bucks. I figure I'll test this stuff out, see how it goes, and hopefully everything's great. That's everything I had to show you there. That was my mystery bag for 20 bucks. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.